Okay, we're live. It's Thursday, December 5th. We get back on the right track with the Brooklyn Nets last night. If you guys see the post, you saw the preview that our members get anytime I make a bet. I write a little preview. Remember, we do a preview for every game. Even sports I don't cover. College basketball, we've got previews on the website and app. But when I make a bet, I give out even further detail, and you guys can read that as I posted it on X sometime last night, basically saying, how the fuck could you bet the Pacers on the road? They've just been absolutely brutal. Now 2-11. As bad as Brooklyn is, as beat up as Brooklyn is, that's why it was just a small bet. You got to remember, Brooklyn Nets missing leading scorer Cam Thomas. The Naked Lakers are falling knife down. Yes, they are. 2 back-to-back beatdowns, Minnesota and Miami. And Reeves has missed those last 2 games, but that's Reeves. I mean, come on. It ain't Jerry West that's missed the last 2 games, but getting back to the Nets, Pacers just playing terrible ball, especially on the road. But overall, they went into that game last night 0-8-1 against the spread there last night, make it 0-9-1, losing. They hadn't won a road game since November 4th. So again, just was worth a little shot with the Nets. Get us back on the right track. I've got a game today. Sent it out last night. It is the most moved game. You know what? I can't say. Can I say that? I can't say that. It's one of the most moved games. We'll go down the card and I'll show you what we did. So listen in and I'll give you a free bet. Going to start with NFL tonight. And NFL tonight, we got what should be a great game, Packers-Detroit. These 2 teams met back in Week 9. Now, Jordan Love wasn't 100% in that game. 24-14 Lions got them. When you're inside and then you go in the dome in Detroit, 2 different things. But Detroit's scoring has slowed down just a little bit over the last few weeks. Detroit has owned this series, winning and covering 5 of the last 6 meetings. Tough to give that home revenge to Green Bay when the other team has pretty much owned the series. Detroit, we've talked about it now, guys. Their D is getting beat up. So you lose a super stud like Hutchinson. And then you lose Anzalone. Now they've lost the linebacker Rodriguez. He's going to be gone for the year. And now you're going to be without Pascal and Rita tonight. That's a lot of defensive guys to lose. It still is under or nobody for me in this game. But the more defensive guys you lose, it's just very tough. As I said, 24-14 was the first game. Only one of the last 5 meetings have gone above 51, the total 51.5 today. Green Bay allowing just 15.3 points per game over their last 3 games. Detroit allowing just 10.7 points per game in their last 3. Again, a weakened defense and a more healthy Jordan Love should get Green Bay more points, but they'll still be missing wide receiver Dobbs. Alexander on the defensive end, he'll also be remaining out. Again, we were talking about this guy forever. One of the better cornerbacks in the league. When he's healthy, he's just never healthy. And again, you can chalk him up to like a Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, great. It's great to have him on your team if he's healthy. Well, you got to be on the field to be healthy. So for me, a little bit of a lean to Detroit. Not laying the hook. I would have absolutely no interest. If it was under 3, I would lay Detroit. 3, you got to think about it. Or under. Those are my 2 leans in the football game. Go through some other games this week. Again, Atlanta Falcon team looked like they were playing good ball. Now they've lost 3 straight. They're going to play the Vikings. Vikings have won 5 straight, but Vikings just play to the number. Just 2-2-1. Again, on only a 1-point win last week. This will be Cousins going back to Minnesota. These teams met last year. Mini, a 31-28 win at Atlanta. So a little revenge both ways. A little home revenge from last year. A little revenge with Cousins going back home. Game's going to be a little more important to Atlanta. Little lean there. And as I say, the Vikings, they win. They don't cover all the games that they win. So I would be a little lean towards the Falcons for even as bad as they fucked us last week. Giants host the Saints, and in just a dog game, Giants have now become the worst rated team in NFL. Locke will get his second start. They've already ruled out DeVito. Just waiting to see what New Orleans is going to have. They're listing a bunch of guys along the offensive line. McCoy, Ruiz, a few guys all questionable. So we'll wait to see. It's New Orleans and nobody. New Orleans did have a full-down game against the Rams. It was a game they could have won. Giants were just not even competitive in the second half, and I don't think they'll be. I think they lost the locker room. Whatever little semblance of a team, once they got rid of Daniel Jones and decided to pack the season, and I think they're just toast, playing out the string at this point. Jacksonville, Tennessee, another couple teams out of it. Lawrence, quarterback for Jacksonville, he'll miss the rest of the year now after taking that last hit last week. That was enough to finish him. Don't know why they even put him in that game. Tennessee, everybody started to talk about their defense as one of the better defenses. And with that talk, they went into Washington, and Daniels absolutely lit them up. The Redskins lit them up. I don't make Tennessee more than a field goal over anybody, but they have won 9 of the last 10 meetings against Jacksonville, and you will have Mac Jones as your quarterback, so not crazy about him. Vegas, Tampa Bay. Vegas put up a fight against KC, as they usually do. They're such a bad team. They just seem to play KC tough. But right now, it looks like it seems everybody plays KC tough. We'll talk about them later. Tampa Bay coming off their road win overtime at Carolina. Vegas on the road for the second week in a row. They were in KC, but they did play a day early. They played on Black Friday, so have an extra day to prepare. Long list of questionables for Tampa Bay. Today's Thursday. I'm not even going to give it credence. I always tell you guys the big day for injury list, Friday. You get a better idea who's going to be playing. 1 second, gentlemen. Okay, Cleveland Pitt. So here's a replay of the snow game that we saw a couple of Thursday nights ago. What a nightmare game this was for us. We had the under in this one, and the game was a dead under. And then there was an explosion in the fourth quarter, and it just would come up to bite us in the ass. I'm looking at the over in this one. But they've absolutely buried the total over. We'll see if it bounces back down a little bit. Last 3 Browns games, all over. Average 55 points per game. Since Russell Wilson is taking over, over's gone 5-1 in the Steelers' 6 games, averaging 51.7 points per game. You could best believe Steelers got a little revenge mind for that last loss Thursday night, a couple Thursday nights ago in Cleveland. And Cleveland coming off a tough Monday night loss. So a road loss on a Monday night. Now go on the road a second straight week. This game, it's Pitt or nobody. Tough to lay 6.5 in these North Division battles. But Pitt or nobody in this game here. Carolina, Philly. Two teams that are covering machines right now. Yes, Carolina is a covering machine. 4 straight weeks they've covered 2-2, but they just lost these last 2 weeks. Lose to Tampa Bay overtime. Lose to KC at the gun as time close out. They won there prior to, so 2-2, but 4-0 against the spread. My ratings do have the Eagles a little bit higher. Is this a little letdown spot for the Eagles after coming off 2 road wins at the Rams and then a big one at Baltimore last week? And then we'll wait to see, do they get Devontae Smith back? So we'll have a question mark there. Jets, Miami, fuck you, Jets. Their season's over. It was over even before last week. Here's movement right now, guys, on the Rams. Rams are getting the play. This is what I have had circled. I just wanted more. This was just a big look ahead. Buffalo's got Detroit next week, and I just thought this was a big look ahead for Buffalo. But they're red hot. Not sold on the Rams. They were shut out. They were blanked in New Orleans in the first half last week, and they were run the fuck over by Philly and Barkley the week before. So I wanted more. I just wanted a little bit higher of a number, but they're on it now. The sharps are on the Rams, as we thought they would be again. When I get to that number, we'll talk about it. But anyway, Eagles, yes, looking unbeatable right now. And again, doing this without 2 key players, Devontae Smith, your wide receiver, and Slay, your best cover. So we'll see if they're going to be playing in that game. Jets, Dolphins, we just talked about, right? Nothing to do with the Jets in this one. The number looks big, and it deserves to be. The season's over. Thought they might try to put one game together coming off the bye last week. Go up 14, and I'm going to have ridiculous fucking 100-yard interception returns. Just a fucking joke. Dolphins have won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams. They're just nothing for the Jets to play for. Don't like them, not playing it. Just seeing an interview with Rodgers, he just looks so uninspired, like he's just playing out the string. Not that he's anything. Anyways, this is we talked about this from the beginning of the year. This is a 40-year-old man coming back from an Achilles injury. What did we expect out of him? Seattle, Arizona. And this is another one. One team just owns the other. Seahawks have won the last 6 meetings, 5-1 against the spread. Just 2 weeks ago in Seattle, beat them 16-6. Seattle's D just keeps getting better. They're getting healthier. Gino just keeps getting more confidence. He'll make a bonehead play and throw a bad pick, but then he'll pick it up, a scramble, a run. They're finding ways to win. Arizona, are they too high? Are they rated too high? They're 2 straight losses now. Minnesota, they lose at Minnesota. They lose at Seattle. They go back home. I make this game only 1 point. I would need to take 3 in this situation. Buffalo Rams, we just talked about the bet. The bet came in just as we were on. All Rams money this game, if you check now, will be all down to 3.5. The other thing I was waiting for also was Coleman and Kincaid. Will they be back for Buffalo? Rams, it's a must game. Rams are still in that Western Conference, Western Division with Seattle and Arizona. Seattle and Arizona. Somebody's got to lose. Rams still with a shot to win. So big game for the Rams. Definitely could see why they're betting them in this spot. Home dog of more than a field goal against a team Buffalo maybe in a look at. I just think Buffalo is playing so good lately. 7 straight wins, 6-1 against the spread. The only non-cover was a win against the Dolphins at home. Last time we had for Buffalo on a road trip was out in Seattle, and they absolutely buried them. Chicago, San Fran, it's just going to matter of who's. Well, we get something happening here on the Jets also. They're taking the Jets. Looks like there's some movement this morning. Jet game going to 5.5 and some 5.5. And again, if you guys go to my ratings, guys, that's why we always talk about the ratings. My ratings are the Jets 23.2 on the road, Dolphins 28.2 at home. That's a 5-point difference. Hedge the Dolphins because of the dominance they've had over the Jets. And remember, they played on a Thursday, day at hand. So I'm more like that 5.5 to 6, and then that's right where your number is. But getting back to San Fran, just laundry list of questionables. Your two guys on your left side of the line, Trent Williams, one of your best left tackles in the game, and Banks. You guys know both running backs, CMC, Mason, both gone. They're out. On the defense, it's Bosa, Elliott, Lenore, Flanagan, Fowles. Just a beat up team. We'll wait to see if anybody comes back. Or is San Fran punting the whole season now that they'll have lost CMC? The night game Sunday night, Chargers at KC. KC has not covered any of their last 6 games. 5-1 in that time frame. The only loss coming at Buffalo. Haven't covered any of the 6. What they do is they beat the Chargers. Beat them 6 straight, 4-2 against the spread. Did it again way back week 4 at LA, 17-10. Chargers will be on the road for the 2nd straight week. Remember, they flew cross country to go to Atlanta. Offense was abysmal. I mean, abysmal. 10 first. I still don't know how we lost that Atlanta game. Chargers 10 first down and I think 180 total yards. Falcons had 23 first downs and I think 360. They doubled their total yards. With all that being said, Chargers still come up with the win. So they're going to go on the road 2nd straight week where KC not only home for the 2nd straight week, but they also played the Raiders on Black Friday. So they've got an extra couple of days to prepare. That's an edge, guys. And that's why if you see the Massa Edge ratings, KC is only 2.5 points better at home than the Chargers are on the road. But when you add all this in, you do get to the other side of the 3. Again, that's an ownership. That's an extra day. Home for the 2nd week. Chargers road for the 2nd week. And then understand that 2.5, that's your base number. And Monday night, you got Cincy and Dallas. Cincy's got to be toast. You just keep saying that they get on a winning streak. Well, that's over. Ravens and Steelers have control of that division. They're not getting in anywhere. Cowboys have shown some life last couple of weeks, beating down the Commanders and the Giants. Can they come up with another game? We'll see. Cowboys are nobody here. Cowboys, again, home for the 2nd straight week. Also played Thanksgiving, so they've got extra time to prepare. But again, they've got a laundry list of questionables also, and that includes C.D. Lamb. They got us last week with that motherfucker move. Those dirty motherfuckers saying C.D. Lamb would miss the rest of the season, which was bullshit. But you saw he didn't play great anyway. Diggs, your cornerback, questionable. Martin, offensive lineman. Defensive end, Nealon. Ferguson, your tight end. Bunch of questionables. We'll wait to see how those all pan out. As I say, Friday, always your big day for the injury list. So again, just as I'm saying, a couple of moves right now. I want to show you guys. This is how you know the Sharps Action Network or whatever these bullshit sites report. When I see a game across the board move, that means the Sharps have hit it. So you see Buffalo, which opened 3.5, went up higher, and now is all back to 3.5. The Sharps are on the Rams. Same thing here with the Jets. This game at 6.5 early in the week. And now, just as we're talking, all hit at 5.5. So here I'll clear the slab. And that's how I monitor when the Sharps something, because when they hit it, they change the line over the entire world. And that's what we do with our games. When we bet a game, we change the line over the entire world, and I'm going to go through the NBA right now for you. What do we get here? We get a couple of... let me just open up my books to the appropriate page. NBA, guys, and as usual, we'll get our base numbers. What you hear is Don Best saying officials. I've talked about that forever. You get the officials in every game. The only time that Don Best wasn't sending out officials was back when Tim Donaghy was the referee. Wow, what a coincidence. You think Don Best knew something? I can guarantee, I swear to you, I went through those days, okay? Tim Donaghy, the rogue referee, okay? Don Best has been giving out the referees. You get the referee assignments as early as 9 a.m. day of the game. So Don Best is all. Let me show you guys. If I click on the O, here's your officials. These are your referees for the game. So imagine a coincidence that the only time they didn't send out the officials were in games that Tim Donaghy fucking ref. Wow. Could it be they knew something? Or was it a coincidence, huh? Yes. Check that out, FBI. Anyway, criminals don't stop doing crime. They only get better at it. Way to go, Ali. That's exactly true. Cincy defense is horrible. Cowboys might win outright. They might. I don't know how teams like the Jets. There's a difference from a Carolina, a team that was never supposed to be good and continuing to play, and you can see them getting better. Just give me one sec, guys. There's a difference between a Carolina or a Jet, Cincy team, teams like this that were supposed to be in the playoffs. Now that they're out of it, there's nothing to play for. They just fall. A team like Carolina is still fighting, as we talked about. I can't help. It gets funnier every day. I don't even know what I touch, guys. Sorry about that. We'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get back. Hopefully at least half of you will join. It's just fucking more stupid and more stupid by the day. Anyway, I just went over the entire NFL. For you guys that are going to see this on the replay, I just went over the entire NFL, gave you leans on each of the games, and I don't know what fucking button I hit, but it's gone. We ended the live, and I wasn't able to save it. So that's what you get when you don't join us live and just catch us later. We'll not be going over the NFL again. Going to use the rest of this time to do the NBA. Not going to wait for you guys to get back because I got shit to do. My bad. Totally my fault, guys. But yeah, I'm not going to redo the NFL for guys that weren't with me. And if you guys miss any part of the NBA, you can come back and enjoy me. So, couple of big number games today. Very rarely do you see me jump on these games. If I do, it's got to be the dog. But I don't want no part of fucking Washington. Wizards are absolutely the worst team in NBA. Been saying this since day one. But, I mean, it's beyond that. It's 15 straight losses, 2-12-1 against the spread in those 15 games. Dallas, They're right 9-1, but they fucking stole a game the other day. Stole a game against us against the Grizzlies. I talked about it yesterday. Memphis, fifth in the NBA, going to the free throw line and free throw shots per game. And while Dallas is ninth, Memphis went just 14 free throws, and Dallas had 44. Literally stole a game. Kyrie, Clay, both played terribly. Marshall was out off the bench. Luka had a Luka game. This will be 4th and 6 for Dallas. This could be a go-to-sleep game here. They beat them both times last year by 13 and by 8 by 13 in Washington, by 8 at home. Wizards had covered 6 of the last 7, and they cover them mainly because these are usually big numbers, as they are today. I don't want no part of Dallas after sneaking by a game like that, but I certainly don't want no part of Washington. Nah, Ginger, it's my bad, my man. Sorry I lost you guys. As I said, we just ran through the entire NFL, but it's lost. So if you were lucky enough to join me, you got the info. If you didn't join me live, sorry about it, guys. At least you'll catch the NBA on the replay. Denver, Cleveland, Nuggets. They come in off a home win at Golden State. Cleveland, 2 straight wins, big one over the Celtics the other day. And then they followed that up with a win. 1 second on the info front here. They followed that up with a win over the miserable Washington Wizards. Garland left that game, but he'll be back. He'll play. The 2 teams split meetings last year, both winning at home by double digits. If you are a Massa Edge member, you see I rate this game even higher than it is. Game opened 4. It's now 4.5. Just not enough to make a play. I'm 5.8 on my number. Cleveland's home rating better than Denver's road rating. Knicks, another monster favorite. Is this a letdown after beating the Magic to move on into the NBA Cup? Remember, these teams just played at Charlotte last week. Charlotte absolutely decimated, and Knicks barely eke out a 1-point win. It was a tough spot for the Knicks. It was a day game at the end of a road trip, just the spot they weren't going to show up. Just thought with Charlotte, totally decimated as they were, Knicks would be able to handle them, and especially in the second half, they were not. 2 meetings last year, 2 meetings at New York last year, Knicks won by 46. They won all 4 last year by a combined 81 points. It's a name your number type of game for the Knicks. How hard do they go after it? They're off tomorrow and don't play again till Thursday. Don't play again till Saturday. So you know how Thibs is, Coach Thibodeau. He'll fucking send these guys out there for 40 minutes to bury a fucking team. OKC, Toronto. Again, this game opened 7.5. And if you're a Massa Edge member, you see where my ratings are. I've got OKC rated 10.5 points better on the road than Toronto is at home. Now, Toronto being home for a second straight game, for actually a third straight game. They've just won their last 2 home games, beating Indiana, beating the Heat. Will take a little bit off, but I'm still around that 10 number. Just coming across now, Podol, the center, who's been giving them great minutes. Great job for Podol. He's going to be questionable. If he's out, I make the game even higher than 10. Again, just wasn't enough room. Do I want to lay OKC, that favorite, on the road? Phoenix and New Orleans Pelicans. So 2 beat the fuck up teams here. Everybody knows the story with New Orleans. They're just decimated. Zion out is going to remain out. They got back DeJounte Murray, who'd been out since the first game. He's been a 0 since coming back. McCollum at least coming back, playing a little better. Brandon Ingram's been out. He was supposed to come back in the other day. They put him up a probable, and then boom, they kept him out again. Is he playing today? Is Herbert Jones playing today? They have both been moved up to questionable. They do have a chance to play. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Phoenix are going to be without KD for at least the next week. Not only is he out, Nurkic, he's going to be out. He missed the last game. So just when Phoenix starting to play a little better, boom, lose a couple of guys. Phoenix will have their work cut out for them because Beal is always an injury away. Chicago, San Antonio. Injuries. Kobe White for the Bulls already ruled out. Giddey, who just fucking registered a triple-double in his last game in that win over the Nets. He's going to also be questionable. For San Antonio, Wemby already ruled out after that pathetic game that he had against the Suns in Phoenix the other night. He was coming off the triple-double the night before. I guess he pulled something. Wemby will be out today. Bulls have won all three meetings in a quirk in the schedule. They played 3 times last year, twice at San Antonio. Sacramento, Memphis. Here's your one free bet, guys. Sent this out last night. Bet on this game opened 3.5. The line continued to climb up all the way throughout the night. Bet online hit 5. When they hit 5, I sent it out at +5. This game has come all the way back and now back down to 3. This is simple ratings play. Massa Edge members, you see I've got Memphis rated 2.0 points better at home than Sacramento is on the road. Now, Sac is coming off a win. Looks like they might be righting their ship. Malik Monk went out. Sacramento went 2-5 without him. He's come back. In the last 4 games, they're 2-2, and Monk is putting up numbers. He's averaging 23 points per game with 9 dimes a game. And I talked to you guys, you prop bettors the other day with Monk now in the starting lineup the last 2 days. That's going to eat into Sabonis stats, into Sabonis assists mainly. So keep an eye on that. But this was a numbers play. Took 5. Look, Sac won both games at Memphis last year by a combined 40 points. Remember, Memphis last year totally decimated. So don't put too much into account there. What I like more, Sacramento may have turned a corner here. Memphis, I've got rated about as high as I feel they can be rated. 5 points was enough to take Sacramento. And then Houston, Golden State, and again, injuries. And that's what it is every day, guys. If the NBA is all about the injuries, who's playing that day? What do they have to play for? So Golden State's telling you we've got nothing to play for today. Looks like Golden State's setting up to play tomorrow. Because this is the front end of a back-to-back. They got the Timberwolves coming in tomorrow, and they'll play a 2-game set with the Timberwolves. So they're gonna sit Curry tonight. Draymond Green, he missed the last game. He's gonna be out again. He may be out a little longer. Steph looks like it's rest. I would expect him back tomorrow. Dre's going for an MRI. Don't know on the calf. Don't know if he'll be playing tomorrow. And they've also got Andrew Wiggins questionable. So maybe they sit him also. This is what we've got to wait for as far as Houston. Eason, power forward that comes off the bench. He's out, concussion. Van Vliet, they just hung a questionable mark on him. So we've got to see. But Houston has lost 14 straight. Houston has lost 14 straight to the Warriors. Warriors 10-3-1 against the spread over that span. And this is what we talk about owning a team. So we'll have to wait to see the injury report. Actually, watching this game right now as we speak go down to 3.5 in most of the books. Let's call it just about all the books. Let's say most of the books. This number was up as high as 4 once the info came out that the Warriors would rest Steph also. Leave it open to questions from you guys. Nobody but Ginger even made a comment. I guess you guys don't use it. What do you need me for? You know it all. All right, guys, that's it. Sorry about the interruption and sorry that there is no NFL. But again, not going to just go over a whole nother NFL that we did. Try to join us live here each weekday, 11 o'clock Eastern. Best sports bet information you can get anywhere. Look, nobody beats the fucking line like I do. Got another 2-point beat of the number. Sacramento Kings sent that out +5. This game is down to 3. Now, don't DM me. Should I still take 3? There's no edge anymore at 3. If I tell you I make the game 2, where's your edge at 3? It's not enough. At 5, that's where the edge is, guys. So please do not DM me. Should I bet it? Ginger, thank you, John. Always love getting those notifications at night for the next day. Those are the ones that we really hammer through, and if my man Ginger could tell you, those are the strong ones. When I'm betting a game the night before, you're going to see movement. Last night, we bet against the side. The Pacers started going up from 2.5 to 3, and at 3, I said, you know what, this is worth a play. That game actually went against us, and I was tempted at the last second to press that at +3.5. But when I'm betting a game the night before, you know that game's going to move, because I can't wait for other shops to attack it. By the time I got up this morning, the game was already hit. So, unfortunately, not all of my guys have access to overnight books. Some are stuck with just DraftKings. Some can't bet offshore. I get all of that. All I could do is tell you what the right number is. And when there's a game like last night, it was 5. It was 4.5 pretty much at every book. Bet Online did have 5. So I posted Kings +5 available at Bet Online. So here to give you guys the best sports betting information you can get anywhere. That's why you need to check me out every day, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys tomorrow.